Did you know that the Talmud teaches that a 9-year-old boy can marry an older woman? I have a video here on YouTube. It's almost gone viral, I guess, or something. I guess you could say it's almost at 1 million views. Last I checked, it was 988 some thousand views. And it shows this thing about the ketubah, the agreement when they get married. Jewish, couples get married. The woman, I guess it's her ketubah thing, that if something happens to her husband, then there should be an inheritance coming to her and all this other stuff. And it's dealing with what if she had relations, sexual relations, when she was a little girl. That does she still get a ketubah? And they were saying yes, and people are saying, well, see, it's not saying that they can or that they should have these relations with little girls. It's just saying what happens if she was molested or something. That's not what it's saying, because I showed in other studies, other videos, that they do in fact say that you can have relations with little girls, 3 years old, okay, and even younger. And I've showed it in my studies. You can watch my other videos on the Talmud. Just go to my channel page, look at the search thing, just type in Talmud, you'll find the studies, right? Showing the actual quotes, not my opinions, not me saying and misrepresenting here or whatever. I actually show the quotes, let you, the reader, the viewer, read it for yourself, all right? But it's ironic that that video that is got almost 1 million views, they all talk about the little girl and the ketubah about the little girl. But they don't talk about the fact that that same passage talks about 9-year-old boys or small boys being with grown women. And how does it affect their ketubah or whatever? They always talk about the girl, although it's just about a girl being molested. But they don't mention, what about the little boy there that's having relations with adult women? They don't talk about that much. And I've brought that up to a couple of these. They say that they're Jews. I guess that they are. And, oh, you're misrepresenting. What about the little boy? And they don't want to talk about that. But I'm going to show you another thing here. And by the way, that video was just an initial reaction. I got the 24 volumes, paid $2,000 for the things. That's the kind of researcher I am. I want to make sure I go to the original sources. Just paid all that money, grabbed one, flipped it open, and I'm just looking and made a video, just initial reaction video, not a thorough scholarly coverage of the thing. And as I'm going through these, I'm just thinking, how do I even do studies on this? This is so evil. And I literally have to take some time off occasionally just to kind of, okay, I need to walk away from this. It's that bad, this Talmud stuff. I'm not exaggerating. Again, I'm showing people the quotes. If you don't think it's that bad, well, God help you. But in this one here, on page 86, we have the Talmud Steinsaltz edition, volume 28, Tractate Sanhedrin, part 4. Right there at the bottom, you can see it. And I'm going to show you, I have a camera here set up, overhead camera. You can see the text for yourself. So let's look here. Again, we have it, Steinsaltz edition. So you see I'm not changing anything. Tractate Sanhedrin, part 4, volume 28. All right, here we have page 86 here. And I'm not going to read some of this perverted stuff. I'll just let it out. But it says that of a boy over 9 years old is regarded as that for all purposes. Therefore, a boy 9 years and 1 day old has that with his late brother's wife, acquires her as his levirate wife, so that he takes possession of his late brother's estate, and she requires a bill of divorce to sever the marital tie. But he may not give her a bill of divorce until he reaches adulthood at the age of 13. Okay? Since he is still only a minor, and his bill of divorce cannot cancel the betrothal which has been affected by his brother. You can pause and read whatever else you want to read there. I have a 10-year-old. Okay, he's going to be 11 another 2 months or something, I think. He's not ready for marriage. Not anywhere even close to being ready for marriage. Even if he wanted to be married, I'd say, no, you're a little bit too young for that, son. He doesn't want to be married. But he can marry his older brother's wife if he had an older brother and the older brother died, and obviously she'd be an older woman than 9, I would hope, and he can marry her. Well, you see, but see, you're just showing your ignorance because you're not a Jew, Denlinger. You're a stupid white European white man, which I am, and I'm not a stupid white European. Caught me on that one. I'm a white European. Some people think I'm stupid, so according to them, yeah, whatever. It doesn't bother me. But Oh, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. You're just a Gentile that doesn't understand the scriptures. You don't know how to study the scriptures. Okay. People got married younger in the past. They got married when they were younger. Let's go to Genesis chapter 25. Let's go to one of the patriarchs of the whole Jewish system, Isaac. Abraham was 90 and 9 years old when he had Isaac. But there's nothing in the Bible telling the age of Abram when he married Sarai and then later became Abraham and Sarah. There's no age mentioned there, but there is for Isaac. Genesis chapter 25 and verse 20 says, "And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian." So I'll show you here on the overhead camera real quick. Verse 20, it says it right there. Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. Right there it is. Oh, they married younger in the past. He married when he was 40. Okay. I married younger than that. And I married fairly late. I was 36 when I got married. But he didn't marry till he was 40. Well, 40 didn't mean actually 40 back then. Please. Of course it did. And it's funny too because Esau, one of Isaac's two sons, Jacob and Esau married when he was 40. So it isn't just, well, it was an isolated incident. They usually married much earlier than, show me. If you're some kind of a wicked Talmudic scholar out there, rabbi, okay, rabbi, you're not supposed to call any man on earth rabbi because one is your master, even Christ. Yeah, Jesus is the last rabbi that ever should have been, but they rejected him because their system is of the devil, and they want to just say that he wasn't God, and they're still looking for a mortal man as their Messiah. Real brilliant. Whatever. If you can't take some, criticism of your religion, then you're pretty cowardly. We get plenty of it as Christians. But rabbi out there, rabbi, wink, wink. Okay, you're a scholar, are you? Can you please show me anywhere? Put it in the comments down below. I will not delete your comment. Put it down there and show me anyone in Scripture, anyone at any time throughout the thousands of years that the Bible covers, from creation up until the first century, after Jesus Christ died on the cross, was ascended back up to heaven. That whole time, show me one man in the entire Bible that ever married when he was 9. There aren't any. Okay, so this Talmudic thing, it's not based on ancient Judaism. It's based on a bunch of pagan scholarly, pagan systems that were derived from the occult world. The Egyptian mystery stuff that came into Babylon later on, then it went down through Media Persia and down through the Greek and then the Roman and then to the 5th kingdom of the miry clay, Israel, and the Romans, the iron and miry clay that's mixed. That's where it came from. Okay? If you don't understand the 5th kingdom, watch my studies on that. Very thorough, going through lots of scripture on it, proving conclusively that the 5th kingdom came in, I believe, in the 1st century when the Jews firmly rejected Jesus Christ as their king, and they said, we have no king but Caesar. The iron merged with the miry clay at that point in time. Miry clay, there's only 2 references to it in the scriptures. One is in the book of Daniel. The other reference is a reference to the nation of Israel. There's no debating what miry clay is. It's not robots that are going to join with people or angels, fallen angelic Nephilim or some kind. No, it's mingled Jews. That's what it is. That's what the Bible warns about in the end times. So I'd stay away from the Talmud. If you're Jewish and you're messing around with the Talmud, if you're in some kind of a Torah institute or some kind of thing and you're studying the Talmud, I'd get far away from that if you actually want to please God, the God of the Bible anyhow.